Shalom everybody, hope you're doing well, hope your week was great, getting ready for not only another Shabbat in the world, but a great Shabbat. We learned that this week's Shabbat is called Shabbat HaGadol, right before Pesach. Right? It gets this special name. We learn from many of the Hasidic Rebbes that on the Shabbat before any holiday, the energy, the strength of that holiday is already coming into the world on that Shabbat right before it. Right, so this Shabbat, even though it's still a couple of days before Pesach, already has an essence, has a taste, has an energy of Pesach in it, which makes it, for that reason and other reasons, Shabbat HaGadol, right, the great Shabbat. So understanding what's Shabbat HaGadol about and tying it into this week's Torah portion, Acharei, what can we take from this Shabbat that stands in front of us, and how can we use it, so to speak, to enhance our experience of Pesach? So first of all, the Baal Shem Tov teaches us that anybody who dies on Erev Shabbat, on Friday, it's a Simon Tov for that person. It's a good sign for that person if they die on a Friday. So the question's asked, okay, great, but nobody has control over when they die, so how can it be a Simon Tov for somebody? They had nothing to do with it. Right? We learned in the Mishnah that a person's born against the world, is taken from this world against the world, so how could it be a Simon Tov? So the Baal Shem Tov explains that it's not literally, it's figuratively, meaning that a person who dies, Kilu, makes himself as if dead on Erev Shabbat, that's a Simon Tov for them. What does he mean? He means someone who humbles themselves so much, brings a sense of selflessness so deeply into their being, right before Shabbat, they will merit to truly taste Shabbat. Right? Because many of us, maybe even most of us, we do Shabbat, we keep Shabbat, we experience Shabbat on some level, but how much do we really, really taste Shabbat? We learn that Shabbat is a taste of the world to come. How many of us really, really experience that from Shabbat to Shabbat, even every now and then? So the Baal Shem Tov says, if anybody wants to really, really experience the depths and the heights of Shabbat, already on Erev Shabbat, they have to prepare themselves. They already have to get themselves to a level of, like, I'm not here. Like, it's not me, I'm just a vessel. I'm just a vessel for something above to come through me into this world. That will allow someone to truly experience the taste of Shabbat. So this idea of death, on some level, like bringing like part of ourselves to a level of gone, of dead. Right? That ties into this week's Torah portion, Acharei, after the death. We're learning about after the death of the sons of Aaron. Right? Aaron is being given more instructions about how the Kohanim are to act in the Beit HaMikdash, especially in the Kodesh Kodeshim, especially in terms of offering korbanot, sacrifices, only when they're told to. But this idea of, again, the Baal Shem Tov's teaching of kind of a kilu, like making ourselves dead on some level right before Shabbat, at least on a spiritual level. Acharei, the name of this week's Torah portion, after the death of, and getting ready for Pesach, right? Which Pesach is all about Geula, it's all about redemption. We're becoming completely free. We learn from so many different places that we have the ability to be completely new people, to ask for everything, to become everything, to become anything that we always wanted to be and never yet did become. But in order to experience true Geula, in order to experience true freedom, we have to leave a part of ourselves behind. We have to kind of say, this part of myself is dead. And that's really scary for most of us, right? Even if we know it's not good for us anymore, even if we want to move beyond it, to actually leave it behind and actually to take the steps to say, I'm done with this part of myself. I no longer want it. I know this is what's inhibiting me from being truly free and from truly moving forward in my life and reaching higher levels of who I can be in this world. That's really scary for us, right? And on this Shabbat, we have the opportunity to use the energy of Shabbat in general, Shabbat HaGadol in specific, and Acharei, this week's Torah portion in specific as well, to take advantage of what's happening for us in the world and use it to really step into Pesach in the most unbelievable and beautiful way, right? To be okay with part of ourselves dying, right? Because we go through life and we go through so many different periods of our lives, and certain things are okay and even good for certain times of our lives. but not for all times. But we have this habit of schlepping along these things, whether they're character traits or habits or whatever they might be. We kind of schlep them along with us, even though we really should be free of them already. We should really free ourselves of them already. Right? But there's a fear. We have a pachad. We're scared on some level. Right? And that's okay. It's human. It's normal. But we're taught that we can go so beyond that. Right? That if we really want to sit at the Seder, right, and taste that first bit of matzah, like we've never had matzah before in our life, and tell the story like it's never been told, like we never even heard it before in our lives. We have to reach the level of being totally free, of starting all over again, of leaving behind what needs to be left behind. And the Shabbat has the strength and the ability to help us with that. Shabbat HaGadol, the great Shabbat. The Sfat Emet teaches us that in this one Shabbat before Pesach, all the other Shabbatot of the year are gathered together. So the strength of this Shabbat is completely beyond. Right? Completely beyond. If we can open ourselves up, open our eyes and our minds and our souls to what's going on, we should merit, please God, to experience that, to see that. Not only will we have an unbelievable Shabbat experience this Shabbat, but we can take that into Pesach in just a few days and really, finally, truly taste what it means to be free, right? To be liberated on an individual level, on a national level, on a global level. I bless you, I bless me, that we should all be able to taste that, to use, so to speak, the Shabbat for that, and already start preparing if we haven't already, right, for the great day that's coming ahead, right, Geula, redemption, freedom, liberation. When we're free, others will be free, the whole world will be free. Bezat Hashem. Sending lots of love and blessing from the Holy Land of Israel. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat HaGadol. Shalom, and Chag Sameach.